Now that we have the ground, the grass, the wagon, and the sun, we're going to create our stop sign. So the first thing we're going to do is create the post. So click on line, and we're going to create the start of the line at the quadrant of this arc. So quad, hover over the arc, get that quadrant snap, and we're going to go up by 2 inches, so relative to angle 90. All right, so there's our post. And then we're going to do a polygon on top of that. Stacked underneath the rectangle is the polygon command, so we're going to click on that. And it's going to ask you the number of sides in your polygon. So we want 8 sides. And now we're going to use a fairly complex object snap called extension. So type in EXT, and we're going to extend off of the end of the line. Did you see? I hovered over the end of the line, and I get the extension off of that line. And you'll notice that I get some coordinates off of that. It wants to know, well, how far do you want to extend that? So make sure that the line still exists. Take your hand off the mouse with the line still existing and type in 0.6. So that's the center of the polygon, 0.6 above the end of the line. All right, now we want to tell AutoCAD whether the polygon is inscribed in the circle or circumscribed, and we want circumscribed. And then specify the radius of the circle, which is 0.6. And there we go, there's our polygon. All right, now we want to make it an official stop sign by putting the text stop in it. All right, underneath the text, you'll see that there's multi-line and single line. We're going to do single line. All right, so it wants us to specify the start point of our text. Well, we don't want to do that yet. We want to specify the justify. So how do we want to justify it? Left, right, middle. So we'll do the justify, and you'll see all these different options that you can do. We want it to be middle. All right, so now what's the middle point of that text? Well, we're going to do the extension again. And we're going to extend off of that line. And we want to extend it 0.6 because that's the middle. And no rotation on the text, so that's 0. And now what is the text? Stop. And then you hit enter. Oh. Enter, enter. There we go. All right, so there's our stop sign. So go ahead and save your tutorial. And the next portion of the tutorial is just to have fun, right? Try to use the move command, the offset command, the mirror command, the rotate command, just to try to get a feel for them. And I'll play around with them as well, and so that you can see how they work. So let's try the move command. So we'll do move. I'm going to move the sun. So I'm going to highlight it with a window, hit enter, just click anywhere and move it anywhere. I can scale the sun. Let's scale the sun. So I'll select the sun again. Notice that it didn't select any of the arrays because my window didn't include all of the sun, but I can add those in. it wants me to select a base point. That's the scale point. So if I select something over here, then the sun's going to scale like that. See how the base point works for the scale? I'm going to hit the escape key and scale again. And I still didn't get the raise. If I pick a base point here, that's how the sun scales. So you can see how the base point works for scale. Oh, let's try rotate. So rotate. Let's rotate the stop sign. So if I use a base point here, so let's do the quad, you can see how that rotates, right? If I use a base point here, you can see how that rotates. All right, let's try the offset. So what does the offset do? Well, let's offset through a distance of, let's say that might be too far, 0.05. Oh, too many decimals, or too many points. All right, now let's select an object. Let's select the wagon body so you can see what offset does. It just takes that object and makes an exact copy of it, either to the inside of it or to the outside of it. We can also use the mirror command. So if I was going to mirror something, let's say, let's mirror the sun. Oh, let's mirror the sun. And I could do a mirror line. So if I do a mirror line like this, you can see what happens. So those are all commands in there that you can play around with and have fun with. All right, so hopefully you feel more comfortable using the basic drawing commands and the basic modify commands. And have fun, just play around, draw things.